I recently went to Fan Expo Con in Philly, so stay tuned to find out what I picked up that weekend. Hey guys, it's Mandak coming at you with another haul video. So welcome into haul video number 158. Hope you guys are having a great day, week, month, and year as always. So yeah, anyways, welcome into this haul video. So as I mentioned in my intro here, went to Fan Expo Comic Con um, about a week ago now at this point, at the time of this recording. So this haul is pretty much that stuff that I picked up from that weekend. I also went to a couple other places during the weekend with my friends and my fiance, so I'll show what I got there as well. But yeah, have a good amount of stuff to show for the comic section and also for Lego. So we'll go through it all here for you, and I'll kind of give I'll kind of, I guess, kind of give my like breakdown of the weekend. Um, so yeah, the day before the con, I actually took off of work and went up to um, Harrisburg area to shop at a couple stores with my friends from college. So I was able to hang out with them and shop at a couple stores. And then the day after is when we went to Philly Con. So my fiance and I went up there with all my other friends from college. So we got to shop around. It was really fun. You know, as usual, it was really fun. You know, I feel like Fan Expo Con is really much different from Wizard World that we had a couple years ago. I like the new management. Overall, it was, you know, I didn't really find a lot of stuff to buy, which I guess maybe shows that, you know, just where I'm going with my collecting. You know, it's not a bad thing, obviously. But that was just how it was. And I will say, you know, this uh, comic convention fell on May 4th, which was also coincidentally enough, you know, Free Comic Book Day as well as Star Wars Day. So it definitely showed because there was a lot of comic book vendors that are in the area around here that I was totally expecting to be there, and they just weren't. And I have to imagine that part of the reason why they weren't there was because they decided that it, from a business perspective, it made more sense to, you know, do Free Comic Book Day at their store and make money that way versus driving all the way down to Philly and paying for a booth and a spot to sell comics. So I don't blame them. It just sucks that, you know, unfortunately they weren't there for me to potentially find some good deals for. But again, that's just the one thing that I guess I noticed from that, because overall I think there were maybe 6 or 7 like comic book retailers there. There was a lot more like pop figure, trading cards, like arts, jewelry type of stuff this year, which, you know, I have no gripe towards. It's just not something that I'm super into, but um, I still thought it was worth kind of walking around and seeing stuff. Um, Also got to see some of the Office cast. So we got to see Rainn Wilson, Oscar Nunez, um, and Kate Flannery and Creed Bratton from The Office. So that was really fun. Got to sit on that panel and listen to them. And also got to see Alan Tudyk, I think is his name. So that was really fun as well. But yeah, it was really great. We went to the Reading Terminal Market for lunch, as we always do. I got my usual, which was the roasted pork sandwich from Nick's with broccoli rabe on top. So that was really fun and tasty. And yeah, we left probably around 5, like after the Office panel was over. We headed home because we were both pretty tired. But yeah, it was really fun and definitely great to see, hang out with my friends, shop around for books and stuff like that. So I'll go into more detail of what I picked up here. But yeah, intro aside here, let's go ahead and get into the comics as we always do. And yeah, let's do it. Alright guys, welcome into the comic book section here for this haul video. So yeah, as I mentioned, I did find a couple things from the con as well as from the other stores that I shopped at the day before the con, but yeah, we'll go through all that here shortly. Before I get into that, I do want to talk about what I've been reading this month, which I guess really isn't much in terms of like what I've read since the last time I talked about what I've been reading, because these haul videos are actually pretty close together for once. And again, that's just because the way it worked out, I guess, because as you guys might be noticing, right, I'm not releasing haul videos every single week, but it's just because I don't have enough content, I guess, collected to show to you guys. But that's a good thing, so at least for my wallet, but maybe not for you guys. But anyway, yeah, so what I've been reading this month, I have officially started my read through of Chew by John Layman and Rob Guillory, I think Rob Guillory. I hope I didn't pronounce that name wrong. But yeah, I'll show all the covers here on the side as we scroll through here. But yeah, I've been reading through. I'm officially on volume 9. I just finished volume 8 today, so really flying through that series. I'm basically reading a trade a day, and I honestly am really loving it. The characters, the art, the storytelling, it's just all very tightly knit, and it's all very kooky and crazy. And you know, I guess in some ways it kind of reminds me a lot of like Meat Man. So like obviously I've been publishing those comics, those little web comics on my page now, so definitely go check those out. But yeah, it kind of reminds me a lot of that. Like it's very food based, and like it's just comedic, like action packed food, like humor type of stuff. And basically the story, basically for anyone who hasn't read this story before, it's about this FDA special agent named Anthony Chu, who is a cybopath, which basically means he can eat anything and know exactly where it came from, and you know, kind of inherit its memories and stuff like that. So as you can probably imagine, that leads to some crazy storytelling. And along with that, you have like his supporting cast. Colby is like John Colby is one of his right hand man, like his partner at the FDA. And then you have Savoy, who is kind of another cybopath who also kind of like is like a competitor of Chew's. And then you have his entire family and support structure, you know, Olive, his daughter, and then you know, Antonelle, his sister, his brother Chow, and then his girlfriend Amelia. So, you know, I really like how all of them play together, and it's a, like I said, very tight knit story. It's basically based on him and his supporting cast, but it's just very well interwoven here. I'm just really excited to see how this will end. I have about I'm on, like I said, I'm on the 9th trade. I collected it in trade paperback, so I don't believe it's in compendium yet, but if it ever does get into compendium, I could definitely see myself upgrading to have it just in one big book. But yeah, I'm on volume 9 right now. There's 12 volumes, so I'm 2/3 of the way through the series, and I'm really excited to see how this will end. It's definitely leaning towards a pretty climactic ending, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, really enjoying that series. As I might have mentioned in my last haul video, I did go ahead and finish some other Epic collections here. So I did finish Deadpool Mission Improbable. And like I said before, maybe on the last haul, I think this is where I'm jumping off when it comes to Deadpool. I was talking with my friends about it over the weekend, and I just am not a big fan of Deadpool comics. Like, I just think they're so wordy, and there's just so many like pop culture references baked in that it kind of distracts me, to be honest, in some ways from the book. And maybe that's just Joe Kelly's writing. I know that that's a pretty acclaimed run. I know some people out there probably are offended by me talking about that, but yeah, I just really, I don't know. I guess it's just an eclectic taste that some people have on that, but yeah, I just really don't like vibe with it. I'm sorry if that offends people. Um, but yeah, so finish that up, and I think that's going to be the end of my read through there with that. Um, Also read Captain America: The Captain, so I think I talked about that as well on the last haul, but officially finished that series, and wow, that may well be the apex of Mark Grunwald's run at this point for me. Obviously, I still have probably half of his run to read, so that I guess that's yet to be seen. But yeah, that whole storyline with John Walker and Captain America, and I guess Steve Rogers, and then the switch off between the two. It's it's yeah, it's definitely one of the best storytelling that I've seen in a Captain America comic since I've started reading my read through back in December. Um, it's just and I feel like that's kind of reminiscent of like the 80s, at least when Jim Shooter was around. Like there was just a lot of great comics coming out at that time, and I believe Shooter was still the editor in chief at that point. But yeah, like there's just so much change that was happening with Marvel at that time, right? You had like Iron Man with his Silver Centurion armor, going around during the Armor Wars. You had, you know, Captain America, breaking away from the U.S. government and becoming the captain. You had, Thor, um, being imprisoned, I guess, after he kills Loki, and then you have Eric Masterson taking over Thor. I believe that's around the same time. So just a lot of great stuff coming out in that era, and I think what was very like what really symbolized that era for Marvel is stuff like this, where Cap kind of breaks away from his norm and becomes the captain, and then eventually gets the title back. So it's a great evolution of the character, and that's really what I like the most, is just seeing how Cap adapted to this and how he eventually came back full circle, and it enriches the character for me, right? Like everything after that has just built on this moment for him. So would highly recommend, if anyone out there, again, like I said in the last haul, like this this material, I think they took a lot of source material from this run of Grunwald's for the Cap, or for the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. Just the moments that John Walker deals with in this book are just so traumatic, um, that it really shapes who he becomes later down the line. I think, and the same thing goes for the show, right? There's a lot of traumatic stuff that John Walker goes through in that show that makes him who he is. So yeah, I really like the way that they adapted that. Now looking back on it with this book, so there's that. I'm currently reading the next epic collection after that, which is the Captain America: The Bloodstone Hunt. So I actually just finished the story arc of the Bloodstone Hunt in that epic collection, so that was really fun to read. Basically, it's like Indiana Jones meets Captain America, and I think the best part about these books with Grunwald is how he just continues to have this supporting cast of Caps, like for Captain America, right? So in this case, you have John Jameson, right? John Jameson, Jonah Jameson's son, as like Cap's personal pilot, and then you have Diamondback, Rachel Layton, who is kind of accompanying him, and she's a reformed villain of the Serpent Society. So, and I think just by looking ahead a little bit, I think she's going to be a recurring character for a long time here. But yeah, just them facing off against Zemo and Batroc, and I think it's Zaron, I think, with the size. So yeah, it's just really fun. And then we also get kind of our first introduction of U.S. Agent. So, I know these books are old, so I guess spoiler alert for anyone who's, I guess, thinking about reading them. But yeah, we kind of get the first introduction of John Walker as the U.S. Agent, which is really fun too. So just a lot of fun storytelling and changes coming to this book that I really like. It never feels stagnant for me. It always feels like it's moving towards something new, which is great. So definitely would recommend reading that. This is, like I said, peak Grunwald, I feel like, because I know as we get more into the 90s here, we're gonna get into some pretty hairy stuff, I feel like, in terms of content and storytelling, so more to come there, I guess. I also am finishing up some of my runs of characters that I'm probably gonna sell books back to. So one of them I had on my shelf for a while, and I just was working through so many other books that I had it put off to the side for a while. But that book that I'm reading right now is Quasar, Cosmos, and Collisions. So pick this up. I picked that book up, I think 2 years ago at Fan Expo Con, ironically enough, and yeah, this collects like some back half material after the first classic collection of Quasar that I didn't have. And it's not the most stellar stuff. It's, it's pretty middle of the road kind of stuff. This is also Grunwald writing this. So I'm reading this, probably gonna end up selling the collection just because I'm not a huge Quasar fan, and I don't think I'm gonna want to revisit this material at some point. Like I said, it's not awful, it's not great, it's just very middle of the road for me. So, you know, that's what it is there. But yeah, just kind of getting through that. Not really getting through it, but just reading that top of my list so I can move through and kind of continue some of these other readathons I'm doing there. So 11-minute intro aside, that's what I've been reading this month, and hope you guys enjoy those. And like I said, I know I've been including the little images, so I hope that kind of enhances this segment of the video at least. Maybe I'll pull these for like separate videos if people are curious about it. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this haul video here. So yeah, comic book wise, I did pick up a couple of things, like I said, at a couple stores and at the con. But first I want to show you something comic book related that I figured I'd put into this section here. And that is a statue that I bought at Comics Connection in, I think it's Carlisle, PA. So I will make sure I put their logo here. I know that I actually bought a sticker from them a while ago, so I'll see if I can pull their logo and put it up here to show you kind of where they're at and their address maybe, so you can go and check them out if you're curious about that. I love promoting local shops because this shop is definitely like the best local shop I think I've ever been to. They have great deals, always have like a sales area, and just an amazing selection of trade paperbacks like in the middle. And then even some of the single issues that I got here were great, very well priced. So can't recommend them enough if you're curious about them. But yeah, that statue that I actually found at a spot. My friend pointed out to me they were selling these statues for $50 each, which I thought was a really good deal, and decided to jump on it. And that is this Iron Man statue here. So you can see here, this is a gallery diorama set. So I have a couple of these. I believe the Doctor Strange one that I bought at the Disney store last year, I believe, was also a gallery diorama set. I have a bunch of these. Like I said, these are pretty nicely detailed statues. And this was one that I didn't own. This is the, I believe this is the armor that Iron Man wears post Armor Wars. I believe this is the armor he takes out. He wears right after his Silver Centurion armor gets destroyed at the end of Armor Wars. So you can see here kind of what that looks like, but this is a very iconic armor, right? A lot more gold going on here than prior armors. This isn't the modular armor, unfortunately, but I'm excited to have this in my collection. And this isn't really canon, I don't think, with any of the comics, but you can see here, like, he's kind of standing over some rubble with like Ultron's mask and stuff in there, which I think is a nice detail. His back gauntlet, you can't really see it there or really on the back here, but it's actually supposed to be smoking, like from like the repulsor blast, so that's kind of cool. And then the front has a blast to it as well. So yeah, like I mentioned with the Doctor Strange statue that I got, unfortunately I don't have a lot of space in my current setup right now to display these statues, right? I'm kind of balancing comics and Lego right now. So my plan is, once we move into a bigger place, to have like all of my like shelves for comics be like, have like the statues displayed with those, and then have a separate display area for my Lego sets. So we'll see how that works out. Might not work out that precisely that way, maybe, but we'll see. But yeah, I really wanted to get this, even if I have to store it away for a little bit. I still think this is a really nice piece to have in my collection, which, like I said, I have a lot of Iron Man armors and stuff like that now. Like I have this one, I have the silver armor, the gold armor, a couple of the like red and gold original armors, Crimson Dynamo, Ironmonger. So, you know, a lot of great armors to show, and a lot of them I actually bought at like stores, and some of them I bought at cons. Like I know the Crimson Dynamo one I bought at a Comic Con in Philly. I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years ago at this point. So, you know, really fun to get those as always. I like statue hunting, especially at cons, because they're usually going for really good prices there. So there's that. So just wanted to show that. I know that wasn't really like comic books, but it's obviously comic related, so I figured I'd show that. Okay. Next here we'll get into some stuff. So as I showed in my thumbnail here, I did pick up a couple of single issues from Comics Connection. So found some that I needed for my Iron Man collection, and the first one I got here was Iron Man 61, which includes the Marauder, if you can remember who that is. It's not really a famous villain, I guess, but nonetheless, really, really hyped to get this. You know, like I said, I am slowly but surely filling up my Iron Man Volume 1 collection here. And it, like I said, anytime I can find a book between 1 to 100 for a decent price, I'm going to jump on it, because that seems to be the biggest gap I have now with my collection. I mean, everything from like 120 on, I think I pretty much have. So I don't really have many gaps to fill there. But yeah, really, really excited to get this for $5. I think that's a really good deal. And some great art going on here. Some I believe that's Rich Buckler, I want to say. Could be wrong there. But yeah, some classic Silver Age Iron Man there. Next one here, I believe this one I used as a thumbnail. This is 62, so this is Whiplash Wins. So a famous Iron Man villain, at least at this point, you know, before he turns his name into Blacklash, I believe. So at this point, he's still known as Whiplash. But yeah, I just love some of these older you know, these older issues where they had like these like speech bubbles on the front. You know, this is very classic to me. So really, really awesome to see this. I don't know who drew this cover, but yeah, this era of Iron Man, there's a lot of people jumping around this book. It was kind of like a hot potato, so you know, who knows. But really, really fun cover there to see that. So really nice to get those 2 issues for a decent price each. Like I said, $5 each. Really can't beat that for some Silver Age books. All right, so getting into some stuff I picked up here. This first book I got here at the comic convention. This was kind of tossed in my hands and recommended to me from one of my friends. And this was a book I didn't really know existed, but really love these 2 creators on this book. So I really jumped on it in that case, and that is Darwyn Cooke and Tim Sale on Superman Kryptonite. So a thin trade here. This has a couple of I think it's Superman Confidential, I want to say is the name of the story, or the name of the series that this book is based off of, I think. Or maybe it's a graphic novel, I can't remember. But yeah, this collects Superman Confidential numbers 1 through 5 and 11. So that's kind of what the issues are, and then the name of the book is Kryptonite, so if you're looking for that online. But yeah, really love Tim Sale, you know, rest in peace. You know, I know he passed away recently. So, you know, I really love his art, and obviously Darwyn Cooke, also rest in peace. You know, just a great creative duo here, 2 really great creators of the medium, and I'm just really excited to see what their Superman looks like here. So this will be a very nice treat to read. You know, I could show some interiors here. So Tim Sale art, as always, beautiful. You know, never disappoints. That's not really good. That's not really a good cover, but you can see here at the back. So really excited to get this. I got this for, I think, like half off, so this was like $7. So I thought that was really nice. This next book, don't really know much about it other than the fact that I'm prepared to cry. That's what my friends told me. So this next book here I picked up at Second and Charles in Lancaster, or Harrisburg, excuse me. And this book is It's a Lonely at the Center of the Earth. So this is a autobiographic novel. So see here, this book was not supposed to exist. Like I said, I don't really know too much about this, but I'm pretty excited to read this. Like I said, you know, anything that makes me feel emotions through books, I tend to gravitate towards, right? I think that's the case for everybody, right? But yeah, really, I'm always looking for recommendations from my friends. You know, obviously their taste I value a lot, you know, in terms of books that they like. So you know, I'm very much influenced by them, and the same goes for the opposite way around, right? You know, so really happy to get this nice little graphic novel, and this will be a nice treat to read. Kind of a one-off story there. All right, getting into some bigger books here. Found this at Second and Charles, and didn't really know much about this, although I did know that these were kind of graphic novel sets, and the creator of this book, I found out, was actually Stephen King's son, who also wrote the Lock and Key series, which I have actually right there behind me. You can see right there the compendium. So still need to read that. Really looking forward to reading that at some point. But went ahead and picked this up, and that is the Hill House Comics slipcase. So these are some horror comics. You can see here on the side, we have Sea Dogs, Plunge, Daphne Byrne, the Doghouse Family, The Low, Low Woods, and Basket Full of Heads. So I'm not sure which ones I have to read first. I'm assuming it's probably just left to right here, or I guess in your case, right to left from the screen, I guess. But yeah, these are interesting. This box set was $40. Original cover price on this was $100, so I was really fortunate to get this for 60% off. I actually didn't pay anything for the stuff I got at Second and Charles because I had like $140 of store credit from other books I traded in. So that was also one thing I guess I probably should have mentioned too. I did trade in a crap ton of books on that Friday as well, so I got to clear out a lot of my backlog of stuff that I'm looking to sell. So really at this point I only have like one short box left of stuff, so that usually, since I bought all this other stuff, I'm probably gonna go through my collection again and start clearing out some more shelves of stuff that I am willing to part with. So that's coming up as well. But yeah, really fun box set here to get, and it's still sealed. And you know, I'm always really interested in this. I actually did get to, I guess they had, I think, Basket Full of Heads as like a separate book on the shelf, so I got to kind of thumb through that, see the art and the writing, and it definitely intrigued me. Kind of reminded me a little bit of like Brubaker and Phillips. So you know, just the way this is like formatted and the way the art looked, everything very reminiscent of that. The coloring was very nice. So really excited to give this a try. And you know, I kind of want to save some books like this for like the October time frame, because I have this plus Ghosted. I kind of want to like save some like spooky horror books for like around October time, because that's like, you know, spooky season. So kind of like playing that stuff. It kind of makes me enjoy that season a little bit more. So really hyped to get that box set for a decent price there. Next stuff I got here, this book I actually passed on earlier in the year here. Back in March, my friends and I, we went on this giant trip around like the Lehigh Valley area for comic collecting and stuff like that. So I think I talked about that on a previous haul. And this book, actually, we found it, but it was a pretty expensive price, and I didn't feel like spending money on that. So, but I found this at this other store for cheaper. And yeah, this is a graphic novel of Batman, The Dark Knight, you know, a true Batman story. And I forget what the premise was of this book. My friend told me about it. I believe it's, you know, it's kind of It's actually, I believe, working off of Paul Dini's like personal experience of being like mugged and beaten, and he kind of works it into this story with Batman and the Joker. So um again, this is kind of a standalone story, so if you're a fan of Batman, this is a very easy pickup to just pick up and read. You know, you don't really need to know a lot of background to it. And like I said, it hits close to home for the writer itself. So and I believe this is in the Paul Dini omnibus. So if you have the Batman Paul Dini by Paul Dini at omnibus, you don't need to get this. But I'm just picking up things that I like. So yeah, really hyped to get this, and this will be a really fun read and a very quick read too. I haven't been showing a lot of art here, I guess, on these pages, but you can see here kind of some interiors going on there. Eduardo Riso is the artist here on this book, so looks really nice. Very nice art going on here. So there's that. Very cool. So we'll give that a read at some point. There's that. And then the last book I got here, which I think is going to get a lot of lulls from people online, is a book that I'm ashamed to say that I've been collecting in oversized hardcover, and it's just because I've been able to find these hardcovers for pretty cheap over the years in stores. And sure enough, I was looking through Gem City Books in, I think it's Gem City Books, yeah. I'll put their stuff up here too as well. Yeah, I was looking through their stuff and, found this book, and I thought it was really funny that I actually was looking through this whole vendor beforehand, and I didn't see this book until the second time I came back, and I'm like, oh shit, I need that volume because I have volumes 1 through 3 of this series in an oversized hardcover, and I decided to get the 4th one here, and that is The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. So yeah, Squirrel Girl is not one of my favorite characters. Like I said though, I have her 3 oversized hardcovers here by North. I want to say his first name, yeah, Ryan North here. I've heard a lot of great things about this series though, just the humor, just like the ridiculousness of what Squirrel Girl goes up against. I think it's just hilarious. And you can see here, this is kind of in homage to a Silver Surfer cover, I think, just the way she's posed and everything. And she's even proclaiming here that she is the new Silver Surfer. So this is sealed. I unfortunately don't want to open it up to show it to you yet. But this contains the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl issues 22 through 31 of the 2015 B series. So this is after the Secret Wars event. A Year of Marvels, The Unbeatable, and Not Brand Ek #4. So I want to say there's 5 of these hardcovers. I think I'm missing one more, possibly. I'll have to go back and check, but yeah, I know there was like an omnibus that came out with this material a while ago, and I just didn't really feel the need to upgrade. But yeah, sure enough, I was able to find this for a decent price, and here we are. So you can see here the back. I paid 20 bucks for this, so I thought that was a pretty good deal considering the cover price on this was 35, and I'm pretty sure this is out of print at this point. So yeah, Marvel hardcovers, oversized hardcovers, if you want them, you definitely need to get them when they come out, because they'll float around on a decent sale on Amazon for a little bit, but once they go out of print, they usually don't get second printings. Usually at that point they go to like, either they make them in paperback versions or they get omnibus. The examples I can think of, obviously Squirrel Girl, Immortal Hulk. I was lucky to get those oversized hardcovers, and then obviously they came out with the omnibus later. So, if you're an omnibus collector, obviously, waiting that route is probably your best bet. So yeah, I guess don't listen to my collecting advice. But anyways, got this for a decent price and really hyped to have this in my collection. So there's that. And with that, 30 minutes later, that is my comic haul. So thank you guys for watching this section, and let's go ahead and get into the Lego section here for this haul video. Alright guys, welcome back to the Lego section here for this haul video. So, yeah, I got a lot of great stuff I picked up here. Not too much. You know, it's been a pretty slow month here, I guess. Not really, but yeah, I've been picking up some stuff. I still have one set on order that I'm waiting on, so hopefully that'll be the next haul video. I don't expect to get it anytime soon, actually. For some reason, it's taken a really long time to ship from Amazon. But yeah, since the last haul video, I actually built a couple of other sets. I built the Executor display set there, the Starship from episode 5. And then I also built the Great Wave, which I'm looking at right now, so I need to find a home for that one. But that's kind of what I've been building. And this stuff I got here, got some stuff from Target, picked up a set from Amazon, and actually got another set from Macy's. So I'll explain what I got there. But yeah, starting with some poly bags. Got these from Target.com. I saw they were added to the I needed some money, or I was ordering something from Amazon or from Target, and I figured I could just put these on the order and get the free shipping with them. So the first one I got here was this poly bag from Technic, which is the Mars rover Perseverance. It's actually interesting. I saw these at Walmart like weeks ago, and I actually decided against picking them up. I had 2 in my hand, and I was like, I don't need 2 of these. So I put it back, and then I was like, you know what? Let me grab one of these. You know, it's really interesting, like, how I've kind of changed my collecting habits. Like, before, with poly bags, I used to buy, like, 2 of all of them and just build them all. And I'm like, what am I going to do with all these poly bags, like, builds? Like, they're all just strewn about my collection. They don't really have a home. And eventually I just ended up breaking most of them down to parts anyway. So I'm like, why even spend the money on them if I'm just adding to my parts collection? And I hate to say it, but especially for Technic, I don't really see much of a use for it because I don't really use a lot of Technic in my builds, and like I have plenty of Technic parts already. So I can just see the giant tub of Technic pieces that I have in my house, or at my parents' house in my collection. So a lot of parts there. But yeah, wanted to pick one of these up though, just to keep sealed and hopefully resell one day, you know, to maybe a big, you know, Mars rover fan. Some unique elements in here that I think might be worth, you know, reselling this at some point. So really nice to have that in the poly bag collection there. This one I definitely picked up one of, because I'm just not a big fan of this. I don't really play the game, so I kind of picked up one of these, and that is the Minecraft poly bag here for Steve and the baby panda. This one I got because of that Steve minifigure. I would tend to imagine that it's not exclusive to the set. Maybe the panda is, I don't know, but yeah, overall this is a very fun little poly bag, and hopefully I can sell this again one day for more than I paid for it. So both of those were $5 each, so not a crazy expenditure there. All right, next set I got here, like I said before, I went to Macy's on this past Sunday with my fiance. It was her birthday weekend, so we went around, shopped some places, then went out to dinner. Very fun weekend thing. So, you know, obviously we had the con on Saturday, and then we spent time shopping around Concord Mall in Delaware, because, you know, no tax. But that mall was very dead. But we went to a Macy's. I got to get some stuff for our wedding, and I was looking up at the Toys R Us setup that they have now at Macy's, and sure enough, I found a Lego section that was 15% off. So yeah, I really jumped on that. There wasn't really anything else that I was looking at that really interested me, except for this set here, which is the Lego Dinosaur Fossils T-Rex skull. So I mentioned this to my fiance when I saw this, but like, this set originally retails for $40, which I think is a really good deal actually for this. I mean, you get almost 600 pieces. Unfortunately, no minifigures, but you get a nice skull build here with like the little rock and the imprint of the foot, which I think is really excellently built. And I have a really good plan for where I want to put this. I want to put this next to my Indiana Jones Temple like the Lost Temple set that I got, the diorama. I think those two would go well together, and it kind of has like that Steven Spielberg synergy going on too. But yeah, this is, like I said before, I don't normally buy sets at full price, but for $40, I was actually very tempted to pick this up at $40, but sure enough, I was able to find this for 15% off, so I got it for around like $34, 35 maybe, which was a easier pill to swallow. And on top of that, my fiance also had a Macy's gift card for 30% off, so I got an additional 30% off of that, so that was really good. So yeah, this is a fun little build. You can see here the skull in the back. This looks like a much bigger build compared to like the same type of set that we got with dinosaur fossils. I think they might have just scaled this head up a little bit more from that set. So you know, really fun to see this. You know, I do like the Jurassic Park theme. I similar to Harry Potter, I don't collect all the play sets anymore. I usually just wait for like these types of one-offs sets, you know, like these collectible displayable sets. Same thing with Harry Potter. Like I grab like the Expecto Patronum set. I know this year they're coming out with the Mandrake and the Buckbeak set, which I've been talking about and asking for a while now, and I'm glad that LEGO's finally releasing it. So sets like that is more of like up my alley. I just don't have the space nor the money to spend for all these Jurassic Park and Harry Potter sets, these play sets. It's just too much stuff for me. So really nice to get that for a good price there. Next set I got here, I'm debating whether or not I want to keep this sealed or not, because you know, I bought this mostly just for the minifigure, but I do want to build this because I feel like it would be nice to go with my Guardian ships, maybe as like an accompaniment to it. And that is the Lego 76254 Baby Rocket ship. So this is from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 sets. So I think most, if not all, these sets are retired or close to retirement at this point. I picked up the Bowie for 20% off like late last year, I believe. And this one I was able to find online for $10 off. Original price was $34 or $35. I got this for $25, so I think that was a decent price. Yeah, I picked this up mostly for the Rocket Raccoon minifigures. The Baby Rocket minifigure, I believe, is exclusive to this set, and I don't think we're going to see it ever again in any other set, so that's obviously a huge draw for this set, and a reason why I kind of want to keep this sealed, but I still feel like the minifigure will still retain its value, even if it's, you know, outside of the build of the set, you know. And that Rocket Raccoon minifigure, I believe, is also exclusive. I could be wrong. That might be... I don't think he was in the Bowie set, so maybe he is exclusive with that torso there. But otherwise, really fun build. I thought it was hilarious that LEGO tried selling this for $35. It's just really not a $35 build to me. This definitely could have been 30 or even 25 in my opinion. But you know, all those tiny little pieces add up to inflate the price count, so that they make you think you're getting a better deal. So but yeah, got this. So I think I've decided, just talking through it here, I think I'm just gonna build it, and obviously I'll retain the minifigures, so that way I can hold on to those and maybe sell them if I need to at some point. We'll see. My bins of minifigures now are just insane. Like I store all of my minifigures in like individual plastic baggies, and store them. I sort through them in different bins to keep them organized. So that's how I organize that. But I might need to revisit that because some of them are getting pretty full. So yeah, there's that. And the last that I got here was really funny because like there was like this random sale of like botanical sets that Target was having a couple weeks ago, and for some random reason they also had this one Star Wars set on sale, which just came out like a few weeks ago, or a few months ago at this point. I think it was March 1st. And sure enough, I went and picked it up, and got the sale, and that was the Invisible Hand, ship build here. So, unfortunately this year we did not get any helmet sets, and that's because the helmet line is basically done. So rest in peace. 4 years later, that one of my favorite lines of Lego Star Wars sets has been discontinued. As I stare at all the ones they released to this point. But yeah, so this is what's replacing it. So as I mentioned before, I built the Executor last night, which I actually really enjoyed building. It's actually a lot bigger than I think it was for its display. And picked this up for $40. This is actually the cheapest one of all three that came out. So we got the Millennium Falcon, the Tantive 4, and this one. And this one was originally on sale originally being sold for $50, and I got it for $40, so 20% off. And this is just an awesome set. You can see here on the side the Starship Collection, and then on the back you have a little image from Episode 3. Yeah, this is really going to be a fun build here. I love the colors. Love the design, even if there is an illegal building technique right there. But yeah, this is really fun. Now I just need to find a new place to store or to display all these sets, which, they're small enough that maybe I can squeeze them onto a shelf here somewhere. But yeah, really, really fun build. Can't wait to build this one too. So a lot of nice smaller builds that I can build soon here. But yeah, that is my Lego haul here. Not too much to go over. Just gotta put all this stuff away in my collection, but otherwise, that's that. So let's go ahead and get into the outro for this video. Alright guys, so thanks for watching this haul video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it was a really fun weekend. Just going to the con and then spending time with my fiance for her birthday. So there's all that, but like I said, not too much to have here. Like I said before, these haul videos are becoming more and more spread out, and that's just because I just don't buy too much nowadays. I kind of just, between wedding savings and just my changes in my spending for my collection, just not a lot to go around, in terms of paying money for stuff. So I do have a couple of, I have an IST order that I'm hoping will go through soon, because I'm looking to get a series collected in some nice paperbacks that I can show you guys. A series I've been looking forward to reading, but just could never find a good collections for until my friend told me about them, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should get those. So I'll show that next haul video, but otherwise, thank you guys for watching. As always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It definitely helps the video and the channel grow. Definitely check out my Neatman comics. Issue number 3 is coming out this month, May, so definitely check that out. I'm trying to stick to one a month here with the help of my friends and family for the voiceovers here, but yeah, otherwise, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the flip side.